process. And so the premise that I'm putting forward is the single biggest problem with patient engagement is that it's missing a common goal. If the term means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, if a lot of organizations are going in different directions, where are we going with this? What is the actual point of it? And is there some kind of a common goal that will link it all together and really make sense of all this engagement work? And so the article I'm putting out and the concept is shifting from patient engagement to the engaged patient. And this fully engaged patient is the actual goal that should run throughout all of these endeavors. And so what does that fully engaged patient look like? Has a true understanding of the health consequences, the health issues that they're facing, the options that available to them, and the potential consequences of all these things. Again, it's going to take more explanation on the part of the care providers. People are going to be researching these things online and coming in with a lot more questions. But if they don't fully understand everything that's going on with their health, they're not in a position to be taking charge of this situation. Prepare to ask care providers questions that matter to them. So a lot of people feel that the questions they have aren't really relevant. My partner Mike Evans did a video years ago. Him and 6 of his buddies went and got vasectomies. They called it the Valentine's Day Massacre. It was filmed by the CBC, and these 6 guys were in a van, and they had the literature from the care providers, and it told them what was going to happen. And the guys all kind of looked at it and said, yeah, I got more questions. And the guys' questions were related to their sexuality, their potency, all these things that guys might think of. None of the things that the healthcare brochure was talking about. So, those aren't invalid questions. They matter to the patient. That's what the patient cares about, so it should be discussed. Sometimes people have a feeling like they can't ask questions to their care provider. Their questions are a little bit silly, or sometimes they fear getting on the wrong side of that care provider, putting the person off so that they're no longer getting this great care. Seems crazy, but when people are struggling in some cases to find a family doctor, it's incredible how passive they become in the process of receiving care. Confident in their understanding and able to participate in shared decision making. So shared decision making is another one of these commonly talked about concepts in healthcare, and makes absolute sense, right? It's not your doctor telling you what to do. You are in it together, but unless you fully understand the situation and you really understand the different options that are ahead of you and some of the risks, some of the repercussions of your choice, you're not in a position to actually make this shared decision making. The doctor might say, what do you think? And you might stare back blankly, understandably, and say, I don't know. I'm looking to you as the medical expert to tell me these things. But this fully engaged patient that understands is in a strong position to make the right decision for them. Power of access to their own health records. So one of the ways that different organizations currently go about patient engagement is what they often refer to as patient portals. So this is what gives you your information. I recently went for a bunch of blood tests, and you get all the information back, and you log in, you're like, this is really cool, I see it all. So what? I didn't do anything with that information. It was a lot of numbers, it wasn't a lot of analysis. So I had that information, but I wasn't really doing anything with it. And so this idea of a fully engaged patient not only has access to this information, but is using it, is following up, is determining what's important to them based on the information that's provided to them. It keeps track of their own symptoms and experiences. So I think we're all terrible at this. You've got something wrong, you end up going to the doctor, you show up and say, so what's wrong? And you go, yeah, there's this thing. It kind of hurts. And the doctor asks you questions. Is it after you're active? Is it when you first get up? And you don't really know. You haven't kept a very detailed summary of the things that you're experiencing. And so that is critical information that the care provider would need in order to make an accurate assessment of what's going on. And so this fully engaged patient, conceptually, is keeping track of these things. One of the nice things these days, of course, there's no shortage of apps or different gadgets and things you can use to keep track of your personal health information.